sense of humor to your horrible French accent. We really are so proud of you. We have achieved so much together, and I look forward to watching you every morning and seeing what else you have achieved over at Good Morning America. She then kissed him on the cheek. Strahan said, I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's amazing. I've come here, and you guys let me into your homes for the last 4 years every day. I didn't know what to expect coming from sports daytime television. You guys opened up your hearts to me, and you opened your homes to me, and it's been so overwhelming with the response that we've had over the last 4 years, and that you guys have loved this show, and it means the world that you've given us an hour of your day, and what you don't realize is that we get more than an hour that you really do. We have an incredible staff here, from the producers to the staff to the crew. They make sure we are always prepared, that we come out here and put on a great show for you guys. And I've got to say, we love you, we appreciate you, I love you, and appreciate you. As the show wrapped up and music began to play, he turned to his co-host for the last time and said, Kelly, you are the best. I love you, baby. I love you. British actor Kit Harington said he revealed his Game of Thrones character's fate to a police officer in order to get out of a speeding ticket. Harington plays Jon Snow in the medieval fantasy series. He was killed off at the end of Season 5, but then magically revived in Season 6 when the show returned months later. Appearing on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the actor recalled an incident in which he divulged Snow's fate to escape getting a fine for speeding on his way home from his parents' house. The Tonight clip of Harington telling the story has been seen nearly 200,000 times since it was posted on YouTube Saturday. The actor confessed, I looked at him and went, I'm alive next season. The officer said, on your way, Lord Commander, keep the speed down this far south of the wall. 2 passings to report. Darwin Cook, a DC Universe comic book artist and storyteller known for his interpretations of Batman, Catwoman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Green Lantern, has died of cancer. He was 53. DC Comics co-publisher Dan DiDio said in a statement Saturday, Darwin Cook lived a life like a character from a Mickey Spillane novel, a throwback to a bygone era that was more than occasionally reflected in his work. He was both compassionate and combative, approaching everything he did with a tenaciousness and temerity that is now unheard of in a world afraid to offend. The simplistic brilliance of his art and the natural flow of his storytelling not only elevated but enhanced all projects he touched, and his passion and love of comics was reflected in every panel of every page. Working with Darwin was not without its challenges. There were times we spent hours arguing over stories, then go months without talking, but always found our way back, drawn together by the common bond and friendship comics create. This is an industry-wide loss that I feel personally, but the sadness is mitigated in the knowing that the beauty and grace of his art will forever stand the test of time and be a monument to all that is great about comics. The family of Cook, who has lived in Nova Scotia for the past 10 years, told CBC News the artist died at his home in Florida early Saturday after battling an aggressive form of cancer. His family said in a statement, we read all your messages of support to him throughout the day yesterday. He was filled with your love and surrounded by friends and family at his home in Florida. He was 53. And Julius LaRosa, the celebrated 1950s singer who reinvented himself as a television, stage, and nightclub performer after his young career was thrown into turmoil by bizarre and humiliating on-the-air firing by Arthur Godfrey before a national audience, died Thursday at his home in Crivitz, Wisconsin. He was 86. His death was confirmed by his wife, Rosemary. Like many fresh talents discovered by the powerful Mr. Godfrey, Mr. LaRosa had been plucked from obscurity, taken into the little Godfrey family, paid a salary beyond his wildest dreams, and exposed to colossal television and radio audiences. From a Brooklyn kid just out of the Navy, it was a dream come true. With his chunky cheek, boyish grins, and dark curly hair swept back from a widow's peak, he crooned pop favorites for 35 million people from 1951 to 1953 on CBS's Arthur Godfrey Time, a weekday morning television radio show, and for Arthur Godfrey and His Friends, a Wednesday night variety program. The news media explored his life, fans swooned, his mail bag brought 7,000 letters a day, and more than Mr. Godfrey, and his salary grew to $900 a week. Godfrey, a folksy, sentimental ukulele strummer to his audiences, but an imperious, tyrannical boss behind the sets, ordered all his entertainers to take dance lessons. Mr. LaRosa refused. He also insisted that his performers not work from outside interests and not be represented by his personal agents. 23 months after Mr. LaRosa's debut, Mr. Godfrey retaliated in a morning segment heard only on the radio. Mr. LaRosa had just finished singing Manhattan when Mr. Godfrey delivered the sentence in his sullen foghorn voice. He said that was Julie's swan song. He later fired Mr. Bellier, too, and told reporters that Mr. LaRosa had been banished because he lacked humility. The dismissal stunned Mr. LaRosa and the Godfrey audiences, whose reaction was largely negative. Most media critics also chastised Mr. Goffrey, whose vernacular image began to crumble. Far from being a death knell for Mr. LaRosa's career, however, it opened new doors. Ed Sullivan signed him a triple his old salary for a dozen appearances on his national television variety show, Toast of the Town. Soon Mr. LaRosa recorded Ed Chimpari and the biggest hit of his career, and Damani. He went on a national tour appearing with Perry Como, Patty Page, Nat King Cole, and Sarah Vaughan. By 1955, the Julius LaRosa show was on summer television 3 times a week. He also appeared in scores of other television shows, including those of Dinah Shore, Steve Allen, Peggy Lee, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, Polly Bergen, Mr. Como, and Pat Boone. In 1957, he made a film, Let's Rock. In 1958, he married Rosemary Meyer, who was Mr. Como's secretary. Beside his wife, he's survived by a daughter, Maria Smith, a son, Chris, a sister, Sadie, and 1 grandson. Sharon Osbourne supported her estranged husband, Ozzy Osbourne, on Thursday. The 63-year-old British television personality, who also acts as Ozzy's manager, attended a press conference with the 67-year-old singer at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles. Osbourne introduced Ozzy at the event where the Black Sabbath frontman announced the merge of Ozfest and Knotsfest. The press conference marked the pair's first public appearance since news of their split broke last week. The talk host explained to Entertainment Tonight, "It's business. This is my business. This is what I do. People have forgotten because they see me every day on the chat show, but this is still the other half of my life." She also said, "It's what I've done my whole life, so it's a huge part of who I am. We've been working together since 76. That's how long we've been working together before we were married." Ozzy had nothing but good things to say about his longtime partner and right arm. The singer also spoke to E! News at the event, saying how he hopes Osbourne will continue to manage his career and that she's still the boss. Pop star Justin Bieber is reportedly enjoying himself during his tour stop in Boston, but his behavior has prompted some questions about whether he's headed for a meltdown. After spending Tuesday barefoot in a public park and sitting in a tree, Bieber spent Wednesday night partying hard in a handful of Boston's clubs and bars. During one stop, the star singer jumped onto the counter to entertain the club's guests. The 22-year-old did not go directly to his hotel after his ball crawl, according to People, and instead asked his driver to stop a few blocks away to drop him and his female guests off. The singer and the group of girls were then said to have been spotted running and jumping in the air. Witness told the outlet he was drunk. He was running and jumping like 4 times before I got near him. TMZ reported Bieber took to the bars after his Purpose concert and racked up a bill of $2,400 for tequila and vodka at one club named 617. He reportedly was super nice to everyone in the beginning of his night, but reportedly kicked all of the VIPs out of the Storyville nightclub. During the day Wednesday, one day after posting a message on social media claiming he was done taking photos with fans because he felt like a zoo animal, Bieber spent time entertaining a group of women by holding one of their babies. An outlet source said to the outlet his bodyguards were all trying to keep people back and saying no photos, and Justin turned and saw me there with the baby. He was like, "I'll hold the baby, let me hold the baby," and reach out for him, the baby's mother said. He was totally normal and very, very sweet. I think he was so overwhelmed with all the women there. He seems like I want to be a burger. Some fans have reacted to Bieber's recent antics with speculations wondering if his behavior is the precursor to a full-blown meltdown. CNN and other outlets have questioned the singer's recent decisions, including his drastic change in hairstyle and his recent face tattoo, likening him to Britney Spears circa 2007. The Red Hot Chili Peppers canceled an appearance this weekend after frontman Anthony Kiedis fell ill and was hospitalized. KROQ tweeted Saturday, "Fortunately, due to the illness at the Chili Peppers were forced to cancel their set tonight at #Weenie Roast. More details to come." Drummer Chad Smith said in his own post, "No one's more disappointed than us that we couldn't perform tonight. Sending love and a speedy recovery to my brother Anthony." The band had been scheduled to headline the Los Angeles radio station's annual Weenie Roast, an event that was expected to draw about 16,000 people. The show's lineup included Weezer, Panic at the Disco, Empire of the Sun, Garbage, Lumineers, Fits in the Tantrums, Mike Snow, and Blink-182. Billboard reported bass player Flea confirmed the cancellation from the stage at the Irvine Meadows Amphitheater and apologized on behalf of the band. A KROQ publicist told the magazine Kiedis was transported by ambulance to a hospital because he was suffering from extreme stomach pain. The nature of his illness and his condition were not immediately known. Captain America Civil War is the #1 movie in North America for the second weekend, earning an additional $72.6 million in receipts, BoxOfficeMojo.com announced Sunday. The superhero ensemble picture stars Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Paul Rudd. Coming in at number 2 is The Jungle Book with $17.8 million, followed by Money Monster at number 3 with $15 million, The Darkness at number 4 with $5.2 million, and Mother's Day at number 5 with $3.3 million. Rounding out the top tier is Zootopia at number 6 with $2.8 million, The Huntsman Winter's War at number 7 with $2.6 million, Keanu number 8 with $1.9 million, Barbershop The Next Cut at number 9 with $1.7 million, and The Boss at number 10 with $1.2 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1929, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science hands out its first awards at a dinner party for around 250 people held at the Blossom Room of the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood, California. The brainchild of Louis B. Mayer, head of the powerful MGM Film Studios, the Academy was organized in May 1927 as a nonprofit organization dedicated to the advance and improvement of the film industry. Its first president and the host of the May 1929 ceremony was the actor Douglas Fairbanks Sr. Unlike today, the winners of the first Oscars, as the coveted gold-plated statuettes later became known, were announced before the award ceremony itself. At the ceremony of the first Oscar ceremony, sound had just been introduced into film. The Warner Brothers movie The Jazz Singer, one of the first talkies, was not allowed to compete for Best Picture because the Academy decided it was unfair to let movies with sound compete with silent films. The first official Best Picture winner and the only silent film to win Best Picture was Wings, directed by William Wildman. The movie, the most expensive movie of its time with a budget of $2 million, the movie told the story of two World War I pilots who fall for the same woman. Another film, F.W. Murnau's epic Sunrise, was considered a dual winner for the best film of the year. German actor Emil Jannings won the Best Actor honors for his role in The Last Command and The Way of All Flesh, while 22-year-old Janet Gaynor was the only female winner. After receiving 3 out of the 5 Best Actor nods, she won for all 3 roles in Seventh Heaven, Street Angels, and Sunrise. A special honorary Oscar was presented to Charlie Chaplin. Originally a nominee for Best Actor, Best Writer, and Best Comedy Director for The Circus, Chaplin was removed from these categories so he could receive the special award, a change that some attributed to his unpopularity in Hollywood. It was the last Oscar the Hollywood Maverick would receive until another honorary Oscar in 1972. The Academy officially began using the nickname Oscar for its awards in 1939. A popular but unconfirmed story about the source of the name holds that Academy Executive Director Margaret Herrick remarked that the statuette looked like her uncle Oscar. Since 1942, the results of the secret ballot voting has been announced during the live broadcast Academy Awards ceremony using the sealed envelope system. The suspense, not to mention the red carpet arrival of nominees and other stars wearing their most beautiful or outrageous evening wear, continues to draw international attention to the film industry's biggest night of the year. And as your entertainment report for Monday, May 16th, 2016, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.